Okay, love, so welcome home to Eden. Let's talk about what we're creating and what we are manifesting as a world community, okay? We can see that we are at a tipping point. Basically, you want to look at which way are you tipping the boat, okay? Because the boat's about to tip over and us humans could be gone off the face of the planet. We could X each other out. We could just get, too much of this virus stuff going. So you can tip the boat though. And some of that's action, but a lot of it is your mind. Really your mind. Because if we can all get on board together with what we're creating and what's important to us, we can accomplish anything. We really can. And here's a really good example for you. Remember when Al Gore was running for president in the United States? Remember that he won? Basically, in the end, they finally counted the votes and he had won. But at the time, people were so pessimistic and so negative. Like all the hippie, people who had become gentrified and rich that I knew, my elders who were my mentors, were completely jaded about him. They were like, it doesn't make any difference. All the politicians are the same. Here we had a man who had studied climate emergency and who knew what to do about it, and a godsend, a miracle godsend, ready to help the planet. And because people were so jaded and so disbelieving in anything positive, that mindset tipped the boat in the wrong direction. It tipped it over in against democracy. It undid our democracy, and from there we've seen, Hillary Clinton. She wins the vote, the popular vote, and she's, still, she doesn't become president. Well, that's all in the electoral college. But with Al Gore, it was really that they didn't count the votes, and the Supreme Court at the time, remember, they decided not to count the votes, to stop counting votes, to go against the Constitution. If the climate of the world had been positive thinking in the direction of him saving us and us all helping the planet and believing that there are good leaders out there, we would have been outraged. We would have been in the streets, or that wouldn't even have happened. Okay? So please get with me and get with it. It's really important what you think. And all of the conspiracy theories out there, are they serving you? Certainly you could say, oh yeah, this whole coronavirus thing, it comes from this place in China where they were trying to create biological warfare. Well, the New York Times comes out this week and talks about the place that they're talking about is a place that actually is against biological warfare, is trying to help with that kind of a problem. And the situation of us abusing animals and eating the wrong animals, well, that takes self-responsibility. See, if you look at it that way, it serves you. It serves us as a world community to treat animals better and to realize we have control over the food markets and which animals we should be eating and which ones we shouldn't, and making it illegal to kill certain animals, and like dogs and cats, for example. It's clear that the spiritual work that they have, the relationship they're supposed to have with humans is about love and friendship. It's not about being eaten. Monkeys, it's cannibalism. You can't eat monkeys. We come from monkeys. You can't eat snakes and bats. They're sacred animals of the goddess that were never supposed to be eaten by humans. You get it? So if you look at it that way, now you're in power. You're like, oh, us humans blew it. We actually have been irresponsible with the animals. We're abusing the cows and the chickens and the goats that are giving us so much. We're not protecting them in terms of how they're raised and how they're